Hi, I'm Geoff Buys Cars. I just bought this MG ZR off of Facebook Marketplace. Is it going to make a profit? Let's find out. Alrighty, well, I've just bought an MG ZR then. Well, why not? It was cheap, it was local, and those are two things that I really like. And they're quite cool, aren't they? They are starting to look quite cool, especially these early ones with the quad round headlights. But we'll get into that in a minute. Right, 1.4 litre, 105 horsepower, little petrol powered, 3-door hatchback with a really funky red and green check seats. So what's not to like about that? I wouldn't call it a hot hatch. Not really sure I'd even call it a warm hatch. It's a lukewarm hatch from Britain. Well, it's a sporty version of Rover's 25, which was the facelifted version of Rover's 200. The Rover 200 was an all-new car for Rover, small hatchback, essentially designed to replace the Metro. When MG bolted some side skirts, some bumpers, some big wheels, some sports suspension, some comfy seats and a new interior to the Rover 25, they had a bestseller on their hands. They sold tens of thousands of these, which is what makes it all the more interesting that when you check eBay and Auto Trader today, well, I did last night, there was 10 for sale on Auto Trader and 6 on eBay, most of which are the later cars which did away with the round headlamps. The round headlamps on the earlier ZR really make the sort of look of this. I think they're much more elegant with the round headlamps. On the later cars as well, they moved the position of the rear number plate, and for me, that made the rear of the car look that bit more clunky. Later cars again had Lexus style rear lights, which were all the rage back in the day, but I don't like the Lexus lights. I like the look of the early cars. This is a 2003 and that changeover happened in 2004. So if you're going to buy one, look out for one of the earlier cars. That sounds alright for a 1.4. So, first impressions of the MG ZR. I really like it. It handles really well, it's nippy, the steering is nice and heavy, it's got a chunky feel to it, it's got this like sporty sort of steering wheel on it, you know, nice gear knob that's got a good bit of feel to it because it's a sporty car. I got a little bit of like silver carbon fibre kind of style trim in here, which is great because Rovers are always full of wood. Right, let's give this a bit of a hoon. It's quite crashy, it's like got quite a go-kart feel to it. Yeah! I mean, I'd imagine when you start to get up to faster speeds, two things are going to happen. One, you're going to start experiencing the limitations of a 1.4 engine, and two, you're going to lose your driving license. The way the steering is set up to be quite heavy, the chunky wheel, the comfortable sports seats, and the way the suspension's quite tight, it's a lot of fun. I mean, I could do with some more revs in the engine. I could, you know, that little bit more poke, but it's only the 1.4. But I'm really enjoying this. It's actually the most fun I've had driving a car in quite a while. And it's the smallest engine I've had for ages. That's enough driving like a hooligan. As a usable modern classic that you can drive as a daily, there's somebody's already done all of the expensive bits. Can you go wrong, really? Yes, it's a little bit rusty, but it was serviced recently and everything works. And you got a sunroof. What a great little car. What a great little car. So much fun. So much fun for no money. Oh, I'm gonna celebrate. Should we play a little game of glove box roulette? Oh, that is a result. Original manufacturer book pack. Is the service book in here though? That's the question. So that is a pretty decent service record for this car. Nice. That is a result. Normally when I buy these cars, they come with like a new keeper slip and a key. 73,000 miles, and I've sat and gone through the service history, and it shows me that the cam belt and water pump was done along with the head gasket, which was skimmed just 4 years ago. You can't mention one of these cars without talking about the head gasket, so that's been done. Yes, it's actually one of my favourites that I've had on the channel so far. I tell you why, it's one of the cheapest, and I like cheap cars, I really do. I like paying a few £100 for a car and rocking around in it. It's one of the best handling cars that I've had on the channel, and it's a super amount of fun. Nice tight suspension, chunky wheel, seat that holds you in, small wheelbase. What's not to like? It's only got 100 or so horsepower, 102, 105. Not a lot of power, small engine, but up to about 50 miles an hour, all the fun. They are cheap to buy. You can buy the very best examples of the MG ZR now. You're talking the 160 horsepower models. They're now commanding 2 to 3 grand. Because of the way values are, no one's going to do the work on the bodywork, and eventually it's going to get scrapped, which is a great shame because someone spent a lot of money on this car and it deserves to live. I feel like this car deserves to live. It deserves to be saved. It's got good history. I've still got the original PDI stamp. I've got all the brochures. Everything's there. It's well cared for. It's had the cam belt done. It's had the head gasket done. It drives really well. It's just a shame that it's so rusty. It's only going to get worse unless someone does it, and no one's going to pay £500 for this car to then do 1,500 quid's worth of bodywork. That's just the sad fact. It's a shame. You're looking at a doomed car. Financials on the MG. I paid £400 on Monday. I cleaned it and I put it on eBay on Tuesday. On Wednesday, Damien got in touch and he said he'd give me £550, which was good. Although I think it would have done a bit better because it had 1,158 views, 85 watches and 7 other offers. So here was Stephen. Stephen's giving the MG a test drive. Stephen, this car has been bought by your mate.
Yeah.
Why has he bought it?
Because we're doing a bit of a drive to Scotland.
So, as I understand it, it's a 21st birthday party. There's 12 of you going, 6 cars, and the budget was
£600.
It's a £600 a car, and this is the first one that's been purchased, right?
Yes, yes.
What do you think of it as a Scotland road trip, North Coast 500 budget car?
It feels sound. Nice little runner.
I drove 270 miles in 6 days. I did the school run 4 times. I drove to work 3 times. I ate 5 cherry bakewells in the car, had 2 coffees and 1 bottle of Lipton Ice. But that's a profit. £100, give or take some administration costs. £150 clear, £100 profit. Job done, on to the next one. So there's a 5-car queue for the car wash. No one's going to risk that with a K-Series engine, are they? I'm going to sit there idling away, waiting for the head gasket to go again. No, not going to play that game. We'll go do some video instead. I could be 17, 18, 19 again and put this on its roof in a bush. I've pulled my knob off. That's an issue, isn't it? The sunroof leaks. So not only have I got a knob that doesn't work, I've also got a wet crotch. Happy days. I put 20 quid in. I've now done 145 miles and the fuel light's not on yet, and to be honest, that was 145 miles bouncing off the rev limiter. I had 80 people watching the car, 300 check the statistics before you start a video. Lower bumper and the big rear spoiler. I really like the styling of this ZR, so don't even know if I'm on camera. I don't think I am. That's fine, let's go.